Hey, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the secret code names for the new moon total solar eclipse in Libra, unmasking descent. We are going to go through 4 different secret code names, and there will be timestamps in the comments and the description after the live is over. The secret code names are Waterfall Forest, Fire in the Field, Snow Lilies, and Cosmic Clouds. Those were the 4 different secret code names that came to me. And if one of them stands out to you, chances are there is a message in there for you. Now, for those of you not familiar with the secret code name readings, these readings are purchased by individuals, and it is their personal reading in regards to the energies of the moon events that are going on. The beauty of the secret code names is anybody can be drawn to or resonate with a secret code name. And because we're all connected, that is why it is likely that there is a message in there for you, even if it is not your personal reading. Waterfall Forest, what Spirit showed me when I got the secret code name, it wasn't just one waterfall. It was like multiple waterfalls inside of a forest, and the forest was really like dew in the air. Like you could feel it and see the dew in the air. It was really heavy with water and the mist, right, from all of these waterfalls. And so that was kind of the energy that I picked up in while I got the secret code name. Fire in the Field, it didn't resonate to me as a meadow. It really was like a field on fire, and I could see different trees in the background and like things like that, but it was on fire and there wasn't any smoke. It was almost like this magical fire that was perpetually burning in the field and on the trees, but it wasn't causing damage. It was like this interesting, magical, smokeless fire that was just all throughout the fields. For snow lilies, when Spirit gave me the image, I did see a white lily, like an oriental lily, and it looked like snow was in the background. So we had this, my voice, wow. All right, we'll deal with that. The snow lily, it was white, like it was white like snow, and in the background there was all of this, what looked like snow, all in the background, which, you know, doesn't really make sense in nature because lilies bloom in the summer. So having the snow be in the background, I was asking Spirit about it, and it could also be ash on the ground. You know, I saw rocks in the background, grass in the background, but it was covered with this kind of, this light snow. So where you could still see the grass and the rocks like peeking through it, but it was all covered in this snow, quote unquote snow like energy with these white oriental lilies, which you can see here on the back of the after tarot that we'll be using. That was the kind of snow lily that I saw. And then cosmic clouds, I got like the gas that forms galaxies that we perceive and see as galaxies, all of this cosmic cloud energy. So with the 4 secret code names, and it was like a rainbow, like rainbow clouds, like cosmic clouds, they were most definitely like iridescent, like rainbow colors. So I thought it was really cool. But that is the different visuals that I got when Spirit gave me the secret code names. Now, this theme of unmasking descent with this new moon in Libra rules the descendant line in the chart, and where we fall into what is essentially the dark night, right? And so it is unmasking, especially with all of the Lilith energy that is attached to this new moon. And if you didn't watch the new moon total solar eclipse in Libra cosmic currency that I just did, I highly recommend going back and watching it, because this energy is, these readings are to really reveal to you what it is that would essentially take you into a dark night type energy, right? That dark night of the soul type energy where we feel kind of lost to ourselves and we don't know what to do. We're just not happy, right? So this is to help you understand what it is, either within yourself or the situation that you choose to put yourselves in, what is kind of taking you into that place so that you can nip it in the butt. All right. We're using the Lynn Strider Tarot for the majority of the reading, the bulk of the reading, and then we'll be tuning into the After Tarot to get some kind of insight into what could occur should you choose your highest path, right? Knowing what the descending energy is and choosing to rise instead. So with that, we're going to get started. Timestamp for Waterfall Forest. Hey, Lori, how you doing? Love you, miss. Let's see what is going on for Waterfall Forest and those who would be drawn to the secret code name. If you guys ever want your own, they are purchasable through my Etsy shop, or you can become a Moon Junkie member here on the channel. Spirit, please. What is the energy in and surrounding Waterfall Forest that they need to be aware of in order to dodge the dark night? What is the energy that would take them there? What do they need to be aware of? One more shuffle. What do they need to be aware of? The energy that would take them down into the descent. Oh, okay, Spirit. Spirit's telling me to cut the deck. We're going to do it this way. All right. Bottom of the deck is the Five of Pentacles. Top of the deck is the Hierophant, double fives. We got the Five of Swords here as well. We got double nines too. Nine of Pentacles and the Hermit. Okay. The energy you are in is the Seven of Wands, with the High Priestess being the empowering card. So there is a part of you that knows your intuition. Following your intuition puts you in that kind of goat status where you are the fucking goat, you know. I think that you have been through the dark night of the soul already. I think you're really well aware of it. And because your intuition is so on point, you know what you need to move forward from. Like consciously on your mind, what you're aware of and consciously thinking about is that you do need to move forward from something that is not yielding the emotionally full result that you want. I think the key is sovereignty with the Nine of Pentacles underneath, because this is the underlying energy. I think someone that you may be involved with, or at least they're orbiting around your energy, kind of pulling on your energy. If they're not like someone who's immediately in your everyday, I think that they distract you a lot. Like throughout the day, you'll think of them or wonder about how things are going to turn out. And I think you know in the future with who or whatever this is. The Five of Swords, that it's only going to cause you to feel defeated every time you deal with them or try to figure out how to incorporate them into your life. The more defeated you feel, and it's probably because they're not meant to be incorporated. The Five of Pentacles on the bottom with the Nine of Swords. This is someone who is really kind of consumed with a lack mentality, a less than mentality, and not good enough mentality, and isolated, or what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of shunned energy, that they're not accepted in general, right? That is their energy. It causes them high anxiety. And you have some kind of Chiron connection with them, some kind of high commitment to help them heal, which ultimately is reflective of your own healing, right? With the Hierophant here. We've got bear synchronicities twice. Even goat energies twice, right? Your intuition, the High Priestess has these antlers. Yeah, it's painful. The more you give, the harder it gets. And that, I think, you know, you have to move forward from, right? Hey, Risa. Hey, Rita. How you doing? I feel like your energy with this person, especially the secret code name being Waterfall Forest. The thing about the waterfalls is the water doesn't flow upwards. It always flows down. Every time we hit another, you know, precipice or another ledge, the water drops. Water is lost in the air, you know, the mist that I was seeing. I think that there's a lot of potential for you to grow from whatever this connection is, and a lot of growth potential for them as well. But the love keeps dropping. You know what I mean? Like water and love are kind of synonymous. And I feel like you're going to go through so many drops with this person where the love is flowing and you feel like you can throw more into it and then it just drops. And maybe you continue to try and keep loving. Maybe you continue to try and keep flowing, and you hit these rapids and, you know, the love is accelerating. You're giving everything and then it just drops. And there's so much of it that's just kind of lost. And all the love that is quote unquote lost, like it's helping everything else grow, but it does result in loss. Like there's even some waterfalls that end up flowing into what is subterranean cave-like energy. So I feel like I think there's a part of you that knows that ultimately it's going to end up leading to a greater good, and that greater good is inevitable, but that it also comes with some type of you versus them ending, right? The Five of Swords is very mentally combative, where two people are going through what feels like mental somersaults, trying to push or combat the other into submission, right? Who is mentally more astute, or whoever is mentally stronger and can keep up whatever facade they need to keep up longer. you know, wearing the masks, pretending things are fine when they're not, having certain conversations to guide the other into a certain result. It's high manipulation, right? The Five of Swords is high manipulation. It's someone wanting someone else to bend because they're right. And people who would rather be right than be at peace. I mean, that's the Five of Swords energy, right? That you would rather be right, that you can heal this person, or that this person can change the way you think they can or should, the way you want them to, the way that you feel would be most beneficial to everybody, and their mind not being on the same page, right? Where you would want a certain result and you're going to battle with them mentally because they are not who you need them to be. And every time you put more love into it or more consideration into it, or you bend a little more, like you get closer and closer to breaking. The more you bend, the more you feel like it's going to break. And breaking never feels good. Like you literally have already been through the dark night. The Hermit in this position, you've already been there. You've already done that. You know you want sovereignty. You know you don't want this person and their actions or their choices or their words or whatever they're fucking doing to interfere with your day and your mood and your life and your plans and what you want to build and what you've got going on. You already know you want the sovereignty, and you're consciously thinking about moving away from it. As we sit here, like I said, your intuition is the goat energy. It puts you in that high position. When you listen to your intuition and you're being pulled to be sovereign and you're being pulled to walk away and have the confrontations and accept defeat or loss that someone didn't turn out the way that you had hoped, even though it's painful, you get out of your own poverty mindset where you don't believe that there's anything better than living at the bottom. You know, the bottom energy, the low energy bottom, where you get out of the anxiety and the nightmare state of the Nine of Swords underneath. You're dealing with essentially a fox, and the fox is sneaky and will steal from you in the dark night. The fox will steal in the dark night. So if you continue to descend with this person, they're only going to take more from you. And they're not going to like it when you listen to your intuition. And I think that's when you listen to your intuition and move forward from it, right? When you claim your sovereignty and no longer give them any power over you, they're not going to like it. But that's how you know you made the right choice. So 3 cards, Spirit, please. As a potential outcome, should it be dodged? The descent, that is. Should the descent be dodged? 10 of Swords. 9 of Wands. All right, we'll do 4 cards. Seven of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups. I think you'll find that after such betrayal or sabotage from someone, when, you know, because this is the minor arcana of Chiron, the 9 of Wands. I think what you're going to find when you lay this version of yourself to rest that tries to compete with other people's versions of themselves. And what I mean by that is, like, your mind sees a certain version of them, their potential, and they compete against you, right? They battle you with that. They don't want to reach their potential the way you see it, the way you want it. When you lay the version of yourself to rest that goes to war for the potential of people, you will find other souls that have gone through similar Chiron lessons You'll cut your losses and take what you can from it. You know, even if the Seven of Pentacles didn't result in the outcome that you wanted of the Ten of Pentacles with whoever you were with. If you take what you can from it and hold gratitude for it, I think you're going to find yourselves in the arms of soulmates, inside the love energy of soulmates, romantic or otherwise, that are truly supportive of you, that hold compassion for you because they understand it. They've been through it too. I think when you walk away from whatever this energy is that is keeping you in such a wounded state, right, that you're actually going to find yourself really grateful for what you got out of it, even if it's just one coin that was ready, because that one coin is the Ace of Pentacles, and you get to reset a new foundation, sovereign. You get to reset the foundation, sovereign. So I do feel like you end up meeting and connecting with a soulmate who genuinely cares about you and supports you in the same way that you support them, because you've both been through the same thing. You've both come out of the dark night and chose not to fall back into it. And I think you connect really, really big on that level with someone. Okay. So secret code name Waterfall Forest. I think if you listen to your intuition, you're going to find yourself in a very peaceful and happy place where you are seen and cared about and considered in the ways that matter, you know, in all the ways that matter. Yeah, the King of Swords is on the bottom. Strong air sign energy, and the Eight of Pentacles. Someone who knows the value of effort and work. People who know the value of effort. See, whoever you're dealing with and all the effort you're putting in right now, they don't see the value of your effort. But should you leave that situation, you will find and connect with people who do see the value in effort. They see it from a very high perspective. They're also intuitive and get messages from their higher self in connection with you. And it's going to feel right. It's going to feel right. You'll have to let me know in the comments if that was the reading that you chose or if it was your reading and if it resonates. I'm curious to see how that works out for you. All right. Fire in the Field is next. Timestamp. Secret code name Fire in this Field. Spirit, please. What insight is in their highest good to receive regarding dodging the dark night and the dissension energy and putting them into their rise instead? What insight do they need to be made aware of so that they do not descend into their dark night? What is the energy that would put them there? What is the energy that would put them there so that they can not go there? Eight of Swords, the Lovers, Four of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and the Emperor. Bottom of the deck is the Nine of Cups. Top is the Six of Swords. All right. Secret codename Fire in the Field. So, we were talking about this magical fire, right? This smokeless magical fire that I saw. This perpetual burning. Where you are right now, the Eight of Swords with the Lovers, I think you are kind of stuck in your head about making a certain choice. I think you've lost a lot before. Five of Pentacles in this position is just kind of screaming Earth sign 12th house energy. So you may lose financially when dealing with, and we'll call them sacred adversaries, people who you don't realize are not for your highest good and soul. It's a secret, right? Secreted to you, hidden in the 12th house. And it causes losses. You've been there, done that. Which is why I think you're having a hard time. And are really stuck in your head about it because you don't know how it's going to turn out, right? The blindfold on, you don't know how it's going to turn out. And not knowing scares you. You don't like not knowing because you've gone through losses and it affected you in such a way that you don't want to do it again. I don't blame you. Okay. With the Four of Pentacles underneath, I think a part of you knows you need to hold on to your ability as an individual to create your own stability. And consciously, you're thinking about showing yourself compassion and moving forward. I don't think you're wrong in wanting to show your compassion to the self and hold on to the stability that you've created, especially if you did come out of major losses or setbacks financially after dealing with a situation or partnership of some kind. Because taking the time to rebuild, like, it takes time. It takes time and energy, and you put a lot into restabilizing. And I think when you choose to move forward towards your wish fulfillment, that you do find yourself in this Emperor energy where you can create anything. I think there's a temptation here to leap into your own strength and maybe even communicate that you've been so wounded in the past or hurt in the past by people who deeply hurt you that you're not necessarily willing to go down a road that someone else sees, like someone else's vision of things. Like, they're going to have to go at your pace if they want to be with you. They're going to have to be patient with the pace that you set. Because if you are not sure about it and you move forward, ultimately it'll crumble, right? I think if you want to catch what you're after, that you have to let yourself out of the cage in order to nourish yourself. A part of you wants to be free, and that freedom, when you consume it, is nourishing. Not being beholden to someone else's expectation of you. I think that's kind of what freaks you out, that you would be beholden to someone else's expectation of you. You don't want the expectations, especially if it means financially mingling with someone else's life or having them intermingle in yours, and you're not ready for that. I think that if you move forward with healthy boundaries and you really set the stage for what it is you want, which is to feel comfortable, I think you'll get it. Let's, what is the potential outcome, please, Spirit, should they dodge the descent into the dark night? Should they hold on to self-compassion and move forward? There's that Four of Pentacles out twice. With the Death card, serious scorpionic energy on the card, and the Knight of Pentacles. Magicians on the bottom, Gemini, Virgo energy, and the Five of Swords. I think you'll realize that when you manifest from your own power and you don't give in to the expectations of other people, that you'll start to weed out the ones that you're not meant to deal with, that you're not meant to have a future with. People who want to take the emperor role from you and put you under their power to have you be what they expect you to be. I think you'll weed those people out. I think you'll end up creating a version of yourself, a long time coming, right? The dark horse that ends up, you know, winning the race type of thing. Like, it might take you a while. You might go through several bad ones. You might go through several people that come close, but aren't quite there. But I think you're going to find yourself really strong. I'm being drawn to the oxen on the card, right? This endurance energy, this strength energy to sow the seeds you need to sow in order to reap the result that you want. I think you're going to find yourself really financially stable. And ultimately, that's what you're afraid of, right? You're afraid of financial instability. And I think being able to move forward with that compassion for the self is actually going to make that a part of the past, that financial loss. I think you'll put yourself in a position to thrive, literally, like on a mundane earth level, to the point that no one could disturb your financial situation. I think right now, with all of this energy coming out of the eclipse, the focus for you is really on your own money and your own finances and your own stability, to where even if you did involve yourself with someone else, you trust yourself not to lose your stability, that you would be good with them, or if you were to separate from them, that your finances would be solid regardless. I think that would make you more comfortable moving into dynamic ships, because right now you might not necessarily trust your manifestability or know the full potential of your manifestability. And I think that's what you're discovering right now. The type of solid foundation you could actually lay for yourself. Because when you're good, you're good. If someone could come into your life and disturb your financial peace, then you're not ready. Not because you're not relationship material, not because they are not relationship material, but because you haven't necessarily mastered the manifestation the way you want yet in order to feel comfortable. And that would keep your compatibility with other people and relationship dynamics or partnership dynamics on edge. It would make them fragile. I hope that makes sense. Secret code name fire in the field. And you know, the fire is purging. Fire is a purging element. And in the field, you know, the way I saw it with all the woods and things like that, it's getting to the space where your finances, right, this earth element is divinely protected by your willpower. And there is no smoke. There is no damage or destruction. It's just your sheer will protects what you're growing. And I think that's the space that you're getting to. If you can stay there, if you can stay in that energy, I think you'll avoid going through the dark night. We're going to get in a secret code name, Snow Lilies. Timestamp for Snow Lilies. All right. Spirit, please, for secret code name Snow Lilies and those who would be drawn to the message here, what insight can we give them to help them dodge the dark night, to unmask the dissension energy, to bring it to light so that they can choose to rise instead? What do they need to be made aware of? The energy that would bring them down into the dissension. The energy that would take them into the dark night. What do they need to know? The Three of Swords, the Star, the King of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Swords. Top is the Devil. All right, so Snow Lilies. Big boss energy on the board. The Devil, the King of Pentacles, and the Emperor, that's big time boss energy. Right now, I think you're healing from some kind of heartbreak with the Three of Swords and the Star. You're in a healing place with yourself. And it might be ancestral, because I'm being super drawn to the white ravens on the card. It almost feels as if there was something your ancestors in their light suffered from, like there was pain, like people who were of that light in your lineage suffered for being that kind of light, And now you are also that kind of light, that kind of healing light. And are maybe feeling watched by those same dark energies. You're going to have to let me know if that makes sense, because it's like they might not be doing anything outright now, but it's almost like, there's people who are waiting for the moment to try and ruin your heart and break your heart or hurt you. And you may have dealt with it already, like a pattern. Like you see how other people are your equal. You treat them like an equal. You love them like an equal. You love them the way that you want to be loved. And it's almost like every time you do that, they end up hurting you in some way. Like they don't love you back the way they would want to be loved the same way. It's almost like love goes out the window and they hurt you. You treat them like people. You don't come off like you're better than anybody else. You don't give advice like you're better than anybody else. Like you give advice because you love, and your caringness is genuine. And I think that people in your family line have done the same. Like there's no judgment there. I do feel like you're in a position of power with the Emperor energy being behind you. I think the Emperor energy is something you've already mastered. And I think this being in this vibration has a lot to do with it. I feel like with the King of Pentacles below and the Eight of Pentacles above, you know that you've mastered some kind of manifestation, because these people that you considered equals and treat as equals that have hurt you, I think you've learned that just because they are your equal doesn't mean you have to love to the point that it hurts. That you can love to the point of overflow, and how far that overflow reaches, right, with the Ace of Cups. But no more than that. You can only give what you have extra, but not any that would empty your cup. If it overflows, it overflows. But if it's not extra and overflow, then you're not giving any more, because that would start to drain your cup. I think what you've learned that your ancestors didn't learn is when to stop flowing that beautiful light, that wisdom, when they're dealing with adversaries, right? When they're dealing with adversaries. It's almost like they were an unconditionally loving portal for people to step into. And then people would just shut the door. They would just shut the door on any kind of reciprocity or consideration in return. The Ten of Swords on bottom with the Devil. I think you've locked yourself in enough contracts that ended up betraying you to know that You are not willing. It's not that you're not capable, but that you are not willing to give more than you can overflow. They're not going to dip into your personal cups energy. White, right? The white ravens with the white cat here. It's almost like you've evolved into a very intuitive force to be reckoned with. You can see the shadows that they try and hide now. And maybe you and your ancestors had a hard time doing that, seeing the shadows and acknowledging the shadows. You know, and you can only give so much before you would start to regret it if they didn't reciprocate or show some kind of gratitude or make some kind of progress with what you've given. I think you've learned your limit. Especially to people who are less well off than you, where you help them financially and they can't repay you. Not that you want it back, because you don't. You're doing it because you genuinely care. You look at them as an equal and you want them to be in the same vibration and same experience of stability that you are. You have a higher vision. The problem is, the more you give to the point that they can't repay, the debt starts to become overwhelming, and they will betray you because they'd rather betray you and let the debt disappear than feel like they owe you, even if you know they don't owe you. It's their own perspective. You can only give what people don't feel bad about taking. If they feel bad about taking it, they're going to register it as a debt they owe you, even if you tell them they don't. People would rather sabotage the connection than accumulate debt. Does that make sense? You have to let me know if that makes sense. Hey Lala, how you doing? What is the outcome to dodging the dark night? Ooh. The Four of Wands, Knight of Wands in the reverse, Two of Wands reverse, Chariot reverse. It's interesting because I picked up the whole deck reversed. Four of Wands ended up flowing out or flipping upright, and the top and bottom of the deck, as it was in reverse, is a Seven of Swords and Ten of Wands reverse. I feel like you end up achieving what truly is a happily after vision. I think that you no longer feel this drive to stay stuck on people who don't want to move. I think you end the lies, you end the bullshit, you end the betrayal, you end the soul burdens, feeling like you've got to carry other people because they don't know how to carry themselves and their weights. I think that you become someone who truly does achieve what they're after in life and what you want to feel. And I think that's you leading by example, because to be honest, if these people that you've given to in the past fall short or fall apart, the dynamics fall apart and they hurt you, or they betray you in some way, or they lie to you and take from you and don't give back, regardless of you wanting it or not, I think you're kind of showing them that when you stop giving more than you are able to give to people who don't want it, that you thrive. Because I promise you, that's what they're doing. They're giving to people to the point that those people that they are giving to feel like they can't repay the debt, even if they don't want it back from those people. Like the mirror, you know what I mean? You're saying, listen, you don't have to just give and give and give to the point of loss because someone feels like, you know, they can't repay you for all the kindness that you've showed them. People that don't know how to be grateful. I think you're teaching them. I think you're leading by example. I think you've taken that Emperor energy and healed the pain and completely moved forward into a place where you can actually overflow because you're not just pouring out to people who can't refill you. And when I say refill you, I mean with saying thank you, like just being thankful and making the changes that you're providing the ability for them to make, you know. I think you end up Four of Wands. I think you end up celebrating. I think you end up really living that positive vision. No more getting stuck on pause with people who don't want to make progress, right? Who resist their own divinity, who resist their higher self. No more getting stuck on them. That's where you find yourself. No more getting stuck on them. These contracts that would just hurt you mentally and emotionally. Yeah. You're not emptying yourself for them. I think you'll give a little bit, but not enough to make them feel like they owe you, because that's where things start to muddy, right? And people feel like they owe you. That's how you avoid your dark night. That's how you avoid the dissension. When you don't give to the point that people feel like they owe you. Because you can say, you don't owe me anything, you don't owe me anything, until you're blue in the face and it won't matter. If people want to feel guilty and feel like they owe you or feel like they can't repay you and feel shitty about themselves, they're going to, no matter what you say. So I think you're finding those boundaries with what you can and can't give, when and to who, so that they don't feel that guilt. All right. We're going to move into secret code name Cosmic Clouds. If you were guided to this reading, we're just going to timestamp for it. Okay. Secret code name Cosmic Clouds. And all of your beautiful rainbow colors. Spirit, what do they need to know in order to dodge the dark night? What do they need insight into about the energy they're in, or the energy that would bring them down into their dissension? What do they need to see so that they can choose to rise instead? What do they need to see so they can choose to rise instead. Five of Swords, Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Queen of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck is the Four of Wands. Top is the Empress. Okay. Where you're at right now, I think you are highly intuitive, and I think you know that. I think you're kind of supernatural in a sense. You may really resonate with the light of Lilith energy. So much so that you know when you enter someone's space or enter someone's field, enter someone's story, you already know how it's going to end. I think your intuitive ability is kind of supernatural. You know the medicine that you bring into their experience, the soul medicine. That they need, that propels them into the next phase. Like a great example would be that always a bridesmaid but never a bride kind of energy. Or, you know, every time you break up with a partner, the next person they're with, they end up marrying. Because you entered their life and served in a very spiritually profound way, knowing you wouldn't get to keep whatever it was or whoever it was, but that you were setting it up for them to receive what they were meant to keep, if that makes sense. And you're at war with this, right? Mentally, you're at war with this because at some point, you want the master manifestation. It's kind of like you're over your spiritual job description. You know what you desire, the Queen of Wands on top. You know what you want. You are magical. But you are also, Spirit's guiding me to the word witch, but in the highest sense of the word, like a white witch. You are magic. Your vibration, the facet of the one soul, you are the white witch. And witches tend to be very solitary. On the whole, they end up being solitary most of the time. But you dream about the Four of Wands and the Empress. You know you're meant to be the Empress. You have this Four of Wands vision that you're holding on to, right? Double fours, Four of Wands, Four of Pentacles on the bottom. And every time it is pulled from you, you feel, you judge yourself. You judge yourself, like you're confused as to why you can't have the Ten of Cups, but how you can create it with your energy just being around other people. I think it's gotten to be such a task that you've put a lot of effort into being alone because you're tired of seeing that energy over and over again pattern and transpire. Like, how many times you have to fall in love and put energy into a partnership only to have it fall apart and they go and marry the next person they're with? Like, how many times do you got to go through that before you're just like, fuck it, I'm staying single. I'm tired of watching that happen. You know what I mean? Hey, Cynthia, how you doing? You're tired of it. You would rather be single than be with someone else just for them to go find their person and be left alone again. You know you're magic. You know you're highly intuitive. You can't turn it off. You just want things, you want to meet your balance. The Six of Pentacles. You want your balance. I think that the dissension, right? How this vibe would take you into your descent into the dark night. It's the frustration with the spiritual job description and thinking that you will never get promoted, right? It's like being at a job that you've been at forever. And every time you train somebody, you know, they end up moving up in the company and you're still stuck training people. You're still at the same pay rate. You're still in the same position. But you train all these people and they end up getting promoted. They end up making more money or they end up getting a better title and you're still in the same position. And you're like, how many times, how many people do I have to train before I finally get promoted myself? I think the dissension energy comes in believing that you are not worthy of asking for the promotion and putting your foot down and saying, listen, I don't want this job anymore. I don't want it. I've done a great job at my job. Yes, I've done a great job. I do it really well. Exceptional. Which is why I deserve the promotion, Spirit. Ask Spirit for your promotion. I want the promotion. Because either you're going to promote me and put me in a position that I will also excel at, a position that I want, or I'm going to find a new job. I'm going to stay solitary. I'm not going to do this shit. I won't do it. You'll have to find somebody else to do that. To train people over and over and over again and watch them get promoted and be okay with it. Find somebody else to do it. Either you're going to promote me and utilize my exceptional energy somewhere else, or I'm not doing it. Because I think to continue to do it, to continue to stay in the drudgery of the spiritual job that you're in, you would be unhappy. You're at war with it. You don't want to do it. You want to move forward from it. 5 of Swords, 6 of Swords, it's 11 swords. It's a mastery of mind. I'm not doing it. Tell the divine, I love you. I'm grateful for all the years that you've given me in this job. I'm glad I was able to get all of these people promoted in the company. But I'm ready for a new job. I'm ready for a new job, or I'm going on strike. I'm going on strike. You can't keep me in this position forever because I don't want to be in this position forever. Tell the divine. You're worthy of Empress energy. You're worthy of receiving. You deserve to receive what it is that you desire. The 4 of Wands, happily ever after, celebratory vision. I refuse to continue doing this job. You're going to have to find a position that I would thrive in just the same and love doing. Because I'm not going to do what I don't want to do anymore. If it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no, right, Spirit? If I'm not super excited about it and I'm hating my job, then I should probably quit, right? If it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no, right, Spirit? Well, this spiritual job that I've been at forever, watching other people get the happily ever after that I want and deserve and not getting it, just training them for it with someone else, yeah, I'm over it. I'm over that job. Find someone else to do it. I'm not doing it anymore. It's not a fuck yeah anymore. I meet people. I see the end before it begins. I'm not doing it. I already know it's not going to work out for XYZ reason. I already see it unfolding. Intuitive as fuck. High Priestess. Intuitive as fuck. You already know. You see the end before it begins. And you're straight up, I think your best energy would be to put your foot down. No, I see how it ends, and I'm not doing it. Not doing it. What is the energy, please, Spirit? The outcome should you dodge the dark night? We've got the King of Swords, the 4 of Cups, Magicians on the bottom, 5 or 4 of Pentacles is in the reverse on top. That's interesting. There's no other reverse cards in my deck. Which is crazy because the Reaper is on both cards. I think you, being of that higher mind, right? And putting the sword in it, putting the sword in the crown, the title, letting the truth be king. the surrender, pouring it out, right? This is the job. Wow. The deck just started to spill and the Four of Wands was there. That cup that the universe was offering you, like, this is your job. You poured it out. You poured it out. You're dodging death. The ego deaths that you would perpetually go through in these cycles. It's not slow anymore. It also feels rather chaotic, because I think what happens is you end up cutting people off left and right. And to them, it's like for no reason. But it's not for no reason. It's because you see differently than they do. You see in the future. The King of Swords with the hawk, the High Priestess, like, you see in the future. You're cutting them off before it starts. You get trigger happy. And honestly, I feel like it feels good. I feel like it feels good. It's actually inspiring for you. Because you know that the spiritual burden of carrying other people and watching their success, like, it only brings you down. And it's not that you're not happy for other people succeeding, but it's like, God damn it, I want to receive. I think you're trigger happy. I think you're cutting off people left and right. I think you see the end before it begins, and you're cutting it off at the gate. Why am I wasting my time, right? It's that mentality. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to use my sight to my benefit and cut them off before it happens. And the death card being Scorpio, past life people, I think you're cutting off past life people. No more. No more. No debts, right? I don't owe any debts. Scorpionic energy, Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. I don't owe these people anything. I don't owe them anything. And it can be their loss. You don't care. It can be their loss. They don't go and find their happily ever after because you didn't date them or you didn't partner up with them in some which way, shape, or form. And you didn't go down that path where you have to let them go so that they can find whoever kind of shit. You're just like, oh, well, it's not my fucking problem. I don't owe them anything. I don't owe these people, these past life people. I don't owe them. It's not going to be my expense. Their happiness and their achieving is not going to come at my expense. And I think you feel damn good about it. I think you feel damn good about it. And because of that, I think you will end up in the Empress energy. I think you will end up with the Four of Wands. Maybe a lot sooner than you think. Because you can see the end before it begins. And I think so long as you keep cutting them off and cutting them off right at the beginning, you're going to find that one that you go to cut off and you either can't do it, you can't bring yourself to do it, or they pull some magical shit to match your fire, to match all of your colors, your cosmic colors. And I think it puts a smile on your face because you couldn't cut them off if you tried, and it's because they're your match. I think you're going to end up with your Four of Wands and your Empress energy. You might have to cut off quite a few people at the gate first. But I think you're going to find it. And I guess at the end of the day, that's what matters. People want to hire you at a different job because you have certain experience, and they want to put you in a similar job because that's where your experience is. You're like, nope, I'll wait for a job I've never had before. Just because I have all of this experience in training people doesn't mean I want a job to train anymore. I want to learn something new. And so you do. I think you turned down a lot of job offers, spiritually speaking. I think you cut a lot of them off after the first phone call or the first interview. Yeah, you're like, no, not the job for me, not what I want. It's too similar to what I've done before. I want something new. And you'll find it. You job hunt long enough. Hell, the job might just straight up find you. So, secret code name Cosmic Clouds. Stay magic. Use that intuition as a sharp knife. Don't be at war with yourself. Cut and go. Right? Cut and go. You decide. You're the magician. You decide. All right, guys, I love y'all. But I got work in the morning. And it's late, and I'm going to go. But I love you. And I hope these readings serve y'all well. I'll catch you next time. Take care, everybody.